Alright, we're ranking every single player in Bluelock'S PXG versus Bastard Munich game. With 15 players on Bastard side and 12 players on PXG side, I want to go over every player, how they played, and give them a ranking of 1 through 10 based on their performance or impact on the game. Now, this game was filled with so many characters, some players becoming literal gods, and others eliminating themselves because of how bad they played. This is the biggest game in the history of Bluelock, even longer than the U20 match, so it's a good reminder to see how everyone played in this game. Let's start off ranking a character we all know well though, our main boy Isagi Yoichi. To say that Isagi was good in this game is a massive understatement. This guy was a literal machine on offense, scoring the first goal for Bastard in this match. And throughout the middle of the match, we constantly see Isagi being a huge problem, somehow defending the whole game, stopping players like Itoshi Rin's Destroyer mode. Not only that, Isagi was aura farming throughout this match. I mean, seriously, looking back and realizing half the stuff he did in this game, like making Rin go into a flashback, Kaiser literally started talking about his Batman origin story. All of this while Isagi was dribbling over him and telling Kaiser to kneel. Not to mention the crazy talk to Loki, telling him he was only born gifted and that's it. What possessed this man to say this? Two loving parents, by the way. Isagi is doing it for the love of the game, even challenging the world's #1. Isagi's performance this match rivaled Aizen levels of thinking. Every single play he made was literally manipulating someone into doing something. He made solo Kunigami give an assist to him, Kaiser to start working with him, Rin to mess up focusing on him, and the cherry on top of it is with Ness. Reading the field like a prophet and understanding his awakening the fastest, giving him the final goal of this match. This performance was absolute cinema, nothing short of GOAT status. The goal was so beautiful, you can't help but smile. It's also backed up by the fact that his bidding will be like the next season of Storage Wars. Everyone's gonna try and offer Isagi a fat load of money. On top of his dialogue calling Kaiser his ultimate clown, yeah, Isagi's peak, no doubt about it, 11 out of 10 performance for Isa GOAT. Now, keeping on our trend of amazing performances, PXG introduced a new character to us in Charles. There was a new sheriff in town. The young prodigy Charles really flipped everything upside down, being the connecting piece to help Rin and Shido score goals. The first time he gets mentioned, it's like they're talking about the hash-slinging slasher. They didn't show his eyes, he was just hitting these insane assists. And when you look at this stat line of assists, what diabolical stuff is going on with Charles? Every goal was assisted by him. In terms of the PXG game by itself, he immediately started using metavision, destroying ankles, all the while having that crazy personality. I mean, bro was literally speaking in emojis. I knew this guy was different when he hit a particle accelerator pass to assist Shido, inventing a new eye while at it too. This guy is inventing stuff. He's creating new eyes, not to mention his other feats like assisting Rin, blocking Kaiser impact, and stealing possession like 4 times. Those are some insane feats. The only critique for Charles is his wavering motivation or only passing to Shido instead of Rin, during the first half at least. In fact, some people are saying that Charles threw the game because of that, but in general, if he didn't play, how was Shido and Rin even gonna get any passes? Are they gonna use Tokimitsu? His whole character is that he does what he wants. He did troll at some moments, so we have to dock off some points. However, overall in this match, he was one of the most crucial characters, so I'm rating Charles at a high 9 out of 10. He was a very important character for PXG. However, a not so important character on PXG has to be Tokimitsu. I've been waiting to have a few choice words about Tokimitsu because not only did he have a generational fall off, I think at this point he's literally eliminated. This performance is the top 10 things science still can't answer. How did he play this badly? I don't know. They did my boy dirty because I compiled all of Tokimitsu's feats throughout this game right here. He had 3 passes. 3 passes. Oh my god. He did nothing. And now keep in mind, Tokimitsu was considered a top 3, running down players like Isagi and Barou in the second selection. But now it's like his physique weapon disappeared. He stopped hitting the gym. Everyone started beating him like he was the PXG punching bag. You know it's bad when the community started betting on whether or not Tokimitsu would do something in the next match, and we started winning those bets. The next time we're gonna see Tokimitsu, he's gonna be the new fry cook for Krusty Krab. He's gonna be working at Papa's Pizzeria. This guy is not playing football. Retract his salary. Yeah, Tokimitsu getting the first 0 out of 10. In fact, he's a part of the bottom generation 11, the opposite of new gen 11. This is the worst 11 players of the new generation. Let's move on to more of a competent player. One of Bastard's key players, and a popular one at that, is Kunigami Rensuke. Bro really came back like Red Hood looking for revenge on Shido. This is a get back years in the making, and in the game, it's evident. After he got the orders from Noel Noah, he really responded like one of Sung Jin Woo's shadows and started dunking on Shido every time he appears on screen. And it was super successful because he almost shut down Shido completely. You know, bro was putting his heart into it because every other panel, Kunigami is on the ground like he got 200 pumped. He also did assist Isagi, landed a helping hand, and also helped pass to other players. Unfortunately, there wasn't really any striker feats from Kunigami, and supposedly this guy wants to be the best striker. However, he did block Shido and shut down one of the big scoring options. I stand by the point that this game would have been completely different without Kunigami, so he's getting a strong 7.5. And since we just mentioned Kunigami, we of course have to talk about Shido as well, being the second scoring option on PXG's side. Now, Shido is a very special case. I'm on the fence because he did a lot, but he also did a whole lot of nothing as well. His biggest feat comes from scoring a goal at the start of the game, which gives him a lot of brownie points. But after that, there is no other standout plays from Shido. He doesn't ever get past Kunigami, doesn't ever get a shot attempt. He's just kind of there. He does pass a few times, and that's really it. Overall, he was pretty much fully shut down with Kunigami on him and Charles getting shut down. So he had like zero impact on the game after that goal. But you can also say because he is such a threat, they had to be permanently marking him and shutting him down. So that's a feat in of itself. One thing on my mind though is, if you remember, this was supposed to be a 2v2 Rin and Shido versus Kaiser and Isagi. They hyped it up with multiple different panels, but then it just turned to Rin versus Kaiser and Isagi. Shido was just spectating. We're being brutal here. A goal is huge, but I just can't place him any higher than 7 out of 10. He didn't impact the game like Rin, Kaiser, or Isagi. Moving to a different position though, Hiori was putting in the work even though he was a midfielder. We see him immediately blocking Water Rin's shot and then dropping some devious dialogue on him. Not gonna lie, that Uber's goal really gave him some confidence. He was getting pieced up by Charles a few times, but let's be honest, if I saw this while looking at someone play football, I'd probably be shaking in my boots too. Throughout the game, he was putting up those pie numbers: 3 interceptions, 1 block, 4 tackles, 7 passes. He was just doing a whole lot. And most of those feats were pretty impressive too, like passing through 3 players on him and no diffing Karasu for the final ball. The only complaint is that on paper, he had no assist, but he got the ball upfield multiple times and his impact was very needed. Overall, a very strong performance. I would rate Hiori a 7 out of 10 as well. Not everyone performed like Hiori in the midfield though. Nanase, unfortunately though, didn't really beat the fraud allegations. My man was number 24 going into this match, so he really had to put everything in it. And at the start, it was really looking like that, helping Water Rin get the ball upfield with his newly revealed ambidextrous legs. However, the key word here is Water Rin. This guy compared to Destroyer Rin is like the guy she tells you not to worry about. Water Rin did like nothing in this match, so by association, Nanase did nothing in this match. We do see a little bit of defense and a little bit of passes here and there. However, this boy better start hoping that a rich guy gives him a salary, because with those feats, I don't think there is any hope for him. Overall, a 3 out of 10 performance. It wasn't just Nanase that didn't really do much though. Corona was also in this match and was really forgettable. Corona really hopped into the field as fast as he got off of it. He kind of dilly-dallied, got like 3 passes, got jumped by Rin, and then got subbed off for no stamina. Bro was putting up Chigiri U20 numbers, but even worse, he played for such little time and was running on fumes. I like Corona as a character, but what did he really do in this match? He did a lot in the other games. Just in this one, he basically did what Nanase did, which was a few passes. So 3 out of 10 as well. Someone even more forgettable than Corona though was Grim, doing even less than Corona and also getting subbed out at the start of the match. Like I said, I guaranteed most people didn't even know he played in this game. He got like 3 passes off and then subbed off for Corona to turn into the Isagi system. And then after Kaiser scored, he was still in the stands. You probably forgot that this character even existed or that he even played. 2 out of 10 for Grim. It's actually crazy how many other players have a low rating, because looking at the defenders, man, how did these guys even get picked up? The PXG defenders Renior, Michelin Man, Gabon, and Chappa literally had 0 feats. Their rating is not applicable. All these guys get is a participation reward. I remember when Chappa was rumored to be a new generation 11, but this guy was just AFK in the background. The defenders for PXG seriously had their controllers disconnected. And the same could be said for the Bastard defenders. Birkenstock was like an ancient rumor. I'm convinced he doesn't even exist because he did 1 tackle and that's it. You're telling me we could have had Nerutepe running around the pitch like the Flash, but we put this guy on? I genuinely can't believe this guy is a paid player to do this. Why is he even sweating? How? What are you contributing contributing to the team. 1 out of 10. Mickey Mouse, add him to the bottom generation 11. Birkenstock isn't the only one getting flack. Mensa is like 2 peas in the pod because he did nothing as well. I don't need to say more. Igaguri had more defensive feats than him. 1 out of 10. And speaking of Igaguri, I think it's finally time to rate the GOAT. Now, even though we didn't see the Igaguri impact, his actual impact on the game was massive. Igaguri was like the secret formula to counter Destroyer Mode Rin. Noel really sent him out like a Pokemon and he fouled him like 2 different times. This is genuinely impressive because this was the Boogeyman Rin who had all of Bastard with their hands on their head. Now, even though that's about it for his feats, faking a foul is an actual technique, and his fouls literally stopped Rin from going even further. Even though he got subbed off, he was like a passing gift, stalling time for Isagi to cook up a solution to Rin. So I would say stand proud Igaguri, 4.5 out of 10. Now, in the NEL, one of the biggest factors in the matches is, of course, the Master Strikers. Starting off with Loki on PXG side, I gotta say he really did do a lot. Loki has never played in the NEL besides this moment, so this was huge for them. He was like the prized fish of PXG, and when he entered the field, it really lived up to that hype. Half his plays don't even make sense. Loki was quite literally teleporting across the field and making the enemy team mad, and he wasn't actively going for a goal himself. He was trying to pass to Rin the whole time, so if he realistically went for the goal, I think he would have terrorized Bastard Munich, blocked a Kaiser impact, passed Bastard so many times, including Noel, and got Rin the ball on 3 different occasions. He pretty much did his job as well as possible in those 3 minutes. Loki is going to get an 8 out of 10, which is a stupendous feat considering he played for 3 minutes. He did get roasted by Isagi, but that's besides the point. Noel for Bastard was also putting on a good performance. For only 3 minutes, he did dribble past the whole team, stall out Loki, and gave a free kick to Kaiser. Plus Aura for literally trying to create his next rival. This guy is a mastermind, and we haven't seen all his cards yet. His plays weren't to the extent as Loki though, so I would give Noel a 7 out of 10. Still a really good performance for 3 minutes. Now, there are still a lot of players on Bastard's side we haven't covered yet. Let's talk about a really big one, Alexis Ness. Ness has a case of hot and cold. He did really good at one part of the game, and the rest he was just making these dumb faces. He was about as useful as a snowman during this match, and none of his passes worked. He was holding back Kaiser, and then bro actually turned into a melted snowman when he did something. Of course, Ness made the game-winning assist, and he also did end up stopping Rin one time, but half the game he was just taking a jab after jab. This guy was in the WWE. The amount of times he was getting slammed. Watching this guy play was damn infuriating most of the time, but he recompensated at the end of the game. Good writing for his character, but did he do anything else besides that assist? Nah, not really, so 6 out of 10. Another passer for Bastard and pretty much a player in the same exact boat as Ness is Kiora Jin. Now, I don't know what's up with these characters getting 1 assist and then getting the milk, but the same thing happened with Kiora. For someone that has a big fat 0 as his salary, you'd expect him to be terrorizing the field, trying to get his rank up, but for the first half of this game, this guy was MIA. We need a bounty hunter to find this guy. The only thing he did was land that 1 assist to Kaiser, and yeah, it was a very good assist that Kiora made for the Magnus, but bro, I don't know if 1 assist throughout the whole game is gonna cut it. Seriously, what is even the point of Kiora? In episode Nagi, he was breakdancing, moving around like Spider-Man, but now is he just gonna be a pass spot midfielder? Welcome to the club, bro. A lot of people expected him to do more towards the end of the match as well, maybe even do the game-winning assist, but after that assist, Kiora just ghosted. He had a whole backstory development and build-up just to do nothing. I'm not even sure if he's gonna make the top 23. Overall, he did really one thing. Granted, it was the Magnus assist though, so 5 out of 10, a little lower than Ness since it wasn't the game-winning assist, and overall less feats. Kiora and Ness need to take notes from Karasu in terms of actual impact on the game. He really did his job as a midfielder. We see him getting the ball up, analyzing the field, defending, all of which is super impactful on the game. 100% the next useful character in PXG, behind Rin, Shido, and Charles. Granted, it's not a high bar when you're comparing him to players like Tokimitsu, but he did stick out. Overall, a very strong performance from Karasu. Goldilocks approved. It wasn't too hot, it wasn't too cold, but right in the middle, and just a bit more, so 7 out of 10. I haven't addressed one of the people's GOATs yet, and for a good reason. Gagamaru, I think he didn't really do much in this match. Before you get your booze and tomatoes ready, I just think Gagamaru was put to the side, unfortunately. 100% he's still the best goalkeeper, the best boy, the people's champion, but it's sad to know that Gagamaru had only 1 block this whole match. It is the NEL, so it's supposed to be faster, but comparing his feats this match to any other he played, it's obvious he was casted to the side. No matter what though, he's safe in the salary, he got his bag, so realistically, he doesn't even need to do much to stay alive. As much as it pains me to say this, Gagamaru gets a 5 out of 10 mid-performance for this match. He did save 1 shot though, and that's enough to give him 5 ratings for just that. Yukimiya is also a harder one to rate, just simply simply due to the fact that he had like 10 seconds of playtime. Bro really subbed in for the last 5 chapters of the game pretty much, and he still managed to dribble past everyone and get a shot attempt off. Kunigami needs to take some notes. He did kind of turn into the SpongeBob narrator for this match. He was kind of just talking about Ness a lot and his awakening. I think he spent more time talking than playing. It's hard to rate because he only played for like 10 seconds, but I'm gonna give Yukimiya a 4 out of 10. He did something individually in a very little amount of time. It just didn't result in much. One of the last players on PXG's side is Zantetsu. Now, I'm gonna be honest, he kind of beat the fraud allegations. At the start of the match, Zantetsu and Tokimitsu were literally equal in feats, which is no feats. Some people were saying Zantetsu was running off of the field because he was doing nothing, but luckily he turned it around with fast counters and also blocking Kunigami. But that's about it for the Zantetsu highlights. Pretty much a 5-second highlight reel. He didn't do too much, but he did do something. He already has a relatively high salary as well, so he might be safe. I'm gonna give Zantetsu a 3.5. He did get a big block on Kunigami and got the ball up a few times as well. The OG Raichi is next, and coming off that Ubers game where he marked Snuffy, I would say he kind of lost his place here. I think Raichi works best when he's marking someone specifically, and we didn't really see that from him. They couldn't really utilize his stamina too well. He didn't make any game-saving plays, but he did his assigned position, and he was present throughout the whole game. So 4.5, you can make an argument for 5 out of 10 as well. All right, we're saving the best for last. Our last 2 players are the biggest ones. We, of course, got Itoshi Rin and Michael Kaiser. Starting off with Kaiser, the PXG game was a roller coaster for this guy. This was literally the fiery fist o' pain, because you're telling me he had a flashback, an awakening, a team up with someone he literally hates, 3 screams of anguish. Like, bro is playing the football match of despair. Kaiser is easily the next deciding factor for this match, right next to Isagi and Rin though. The match revolved around these 3 the most. In fact, half of the game was just them awakening and countering those awakenings. For Kaiser's awakening, we of course got the Magnus goal, one of the best Kaiser goals in general, so that brought him up a lot of points. He was kind of losing aura during the first half of the match, but he recovered it in the second half. Then PXG really started to take some notes and put some players on him. Kaiser is literally Thanos. After that Magnus goal, if it wasn't for Loki, he probably could have closed the game out, as well as he started to work alongside Isagi, so his plays got even better. Defending against whatever abomination Itoshi Rin was, as well as getting the ball upfield with Isagi, I gotta say, alongside his goal, Kaiser was making some money moves. Of course, at the end of the day, he lost to Isagi in scoring the last goal and was a victim to the out-of-pocket Isagi lines. If it wasn't for him though, Bastard's offense is easily cut in half. Again, the biggest deciding factor right next to Itoshi Rin and Isagi. I gotta say, a 10 out of 10 performance from him. If Kaiser started working with the Blue Locker sooner, he could have had such an easier time in the NEL and in this game, but it was a little too late because there was a newly awakened monster. Of course, our last player, Itoshi Rin, this guy literally terrorized the Blue Lock verse. Everyone got hands from Rin. Bastard thought everything was sweet until Rin switched out with his other personality. Let's take it from the start for Rin. The Water Aura Super Idol version of him was just okay. He got a shot attempt off, but it was more impressive being able to pull Isagi with one arm and Mario jump. How is this even possible? We need to test Rin for steroids and also see his PR on deadlift. He also did intercept the ball before Kaiser can get a Kaiser impact off, so you can say he prevented a shot. However, nothing could have prepared us for what Itoshi Rin gave us next. This was the performance of a lifetime. Hands down, I think this is the best individual performance from someone in Blue Lock. Rin started turning the plot into his favor. PXG turned into Rin and the Trash Can friends. He started soloing everything. If I saw Rin running at me like this, I just know it's cooked, and that's exactly how the Bastard players felt. It's like they were playing Five Nights at Freddy's. Isagi looks like he's seen the Ghost of Christmas Past. We gotta take a deep dive into his performance though, because these game stats deserve some analysis. Let me put y'all into perspective. Rin dribbled past at least 20 different players. Shido dribbled past 1. And you could make the argument that Shido had Kunigami on him, but Rin quite literally had all of Bastard on him. He just got through. He no-diffed half of them. Rin literally turned up because of some legendary beef with Isagi. He got so strong, this guy could have scored, stopped, hit the replay button just to get a goal he wanted. And he ended up scoring that goal too. Bro, it doesn't even sound real at this point what kind of plays he's making. This guy started a whole trend. What the hell is going on in Blue Lock? On top of all his offensive feats, Rin did more than any of the defenders on PXG. Man, Rin did more than anyone on PXG in general. It's easy to see he lost the game, but Rin's solo run was generational, easily the best individual performance we've seen, especially at the NEL level. There are accusations that Rin sold the game because he didn't shoot or he didn't pass the Shido, which is fair, but balancing everything else he did for the team, it makes up for it tenfold. He did end up losing and getting outscored by Isagi. Rin did rely a little too much on his instincts, and that was his downfall. But again, on an individualistic level, no one even comes close to him. It really took Kaiser and Isagi teaming up to stop him. PXG would have been wiped out without Rin, so I'm gonna give him a 10.5 out of 10, just in between Isagi and Kaiser. Alright, that is every single player rated in the PXG versus Bastard game, the longest game in all of Blue Lock. There was way too many chapters going back and forth for this video, so if you made it to the end, thank you so much, and I'd really appreciate it if you would hit the subscribe button for more Blue Lock content just like this. Leave your thoughts down below on any of the ratings, whether you agree or disagree, or just your ratings on each of the players. YouTube also really thinks you'd like this video right here, so go check it out. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll see y'all in the next one.